And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
How are you? Your Excellency Ambassador Bayoumi, how did you follow the Al-Azhar have already actually condemned as dangerous escalation the incursion of Israeli National Security Minister Ben Gvir to Al-Aqsa Mosque. How did you see this act?
This is very important, and I hope that the whole world will condemn this action, because the freedom of going to a religious place is assured in any system, in any country. And in Egypt, we are proud of having thousands of minarets, thousands of also places to pray for God for the Christians. Also for our Jewish community, we have a couple of places there. And nobody thinks to stop people of praying to God in their own religion.
Yes.
Anyway, this is something amazing, and really we add this to a sort of the crimes which is committed by this government of Israel, and we shall spare no activity in order to stop this, going to the United Nations, going to our friends in the European Union, in the African Union, also in the Arab community, in the Islamic community. Many, as 149 countries voted in the United Nations General Assembly to stop this silly war.
Yes.
And only 2 countries are against this. Why? Because we have a prime minister who is officially international criminal. And if the war stops, he will go to jail. So I do not trust him for a minute that he will help us to stop this silly war.
Actually, Your Excellency Ambassador Bayoumi, this is not the first time the incursion of Israeli ministers to Al-Aqsa Mosque. It happened several times before.
It is sort of provocative action. And we condemn it, of course, and each time we should condemn it. I am proud that we cannot retaliate by doing the same to the places where our Jewish community are praying. We cannot do that. We are people who respect all the religions, and we are instructed by our God, by our Quran, to respect all our prophets, all our religions, and we do not differentiate between one religion and the other. So I always, when I talk to our friends in the European community, saying that we respect your religion, why you do not even recognize our religion.
Yes.
So we are in a much better situation concerning human rights and all these practices of the right of a citizen to pray to God wherever he wants.
Yes. Yes. What is the aim behind this act and this incursion into the Al-Aqsa Mosque? Of course, hurting the feelings of the citizens and the Muslims especially. Is it not enough what Israel occupation forces is making to Palestinian territories? In addition to this, they are hurting the feelings of the Muslims. What's your comment?
There are 2 theories here. First, it's based on history. Imagining that Al-Aqsa Mosque was built on the place of where the Jewish community was praying. And they dig in beneath the earth in this place. And as one Palestinian friend said, if they found one piece of a stone about what they are talking about, they would not stop talking about it. So Al-Aqsa is not replaced any other religion place. Another sort is to provoke the Palestinians, to send them to make them upset and to leave their own country. And here comes the strongest point of our position as Arabs and Palestinians, which is the Palestinian stand. Palestinians do not leave their country. They will never leave their country. We do not allow any movement in order to send them away. And it is very strong from Egypt and Jordan and other countries neighboring Palestine.
Yes.
And on the opposite side, there is what we call migration of the Jewish community from Israel to their original land. Why should I, if I am a German or French or British, I stay in this land where wars are continuing? So 500,000 Israelis left the country in the last 2 years.
Yes.
So one day the Palestinians will exceed the number of Israelis in their own land. So that's why some wise men, even in the Jewish community, see that the two-state solution is much better for Israel, because one-state solution, one day the Arabs will exceed the number of Jewish people in this country. What can Israel do about that?
Yes.
So we have a very long breeze, and we are with it, and we think that at the end we shall have this victory on those bad people.
Yes. In addition to this, not only the provocative act by the Israeli minister, also the Israeli forces, occupation forces, many times prevents the Palestinians from entering to the Aqsa Mosque and making their prayers. How do you see this act also?
It is also they are trying all the ways in order to make us fed up, and not trying to go to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And I remember once when I was the head of the Israel department in the Foreign Office, I went to visit Palestine, and on our way from the airport, we said it is Friday today, and we want to pray Friday, pray in the Al-Aqsa. Our companion, he was Israeli, he said, I think this is not possible. So we told him frankly, if you don't go to Al-Aqsa Mosque, go back to the airport, we shall not starting our visit. So we went there, we prayed, and we practiced it. So I encourage all the Palestinians, all our Muslim brothers from anywhere in the world to go to Allah and pray, to prove that we have the right to pray there, whether they like it or not.
Yes. Yes. Actually, Al-Azhar have condemned this act, and also Egypt always condemned and sees it as a dangerous escalation, the incursion of Israeli ministers into the mosque, or preventing the Palestinian prayers from making the rituals and their prayers inside Al-Aqsa Mosque. And actually, Egypt is exerting a lot of effort, not only during the past 2 or 3 years, but since the year 1948. It's a long story of support, and give us an idea about this, the great role Egypt is playing supporting the Palestinians.
Of course we are supporting Palestine, not because it is our neighbor or our brothers. No, this is a part of our national security. Not now, but 2,000 years before Christ, our army with Ahmus, our king, went to fight against the Hyksos who were trying to go to this part of the world. Muhammad Ali Basha, Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, and the Crusaders.
Yes.
So we have a long history supporting this. So it is not only Al-Azhar al-Sharif who is supporting Al-Aqsa, but also our church, because we have a church in Jerusalem, Egyptian church in Jerusalem. And I am afraid that the Israelis are not giving a hand for the security of this church. And it is a well-known story that when Umar ibn al-Khattab went to visit this place. He issued the letter of Al-Umar that all the religion in this place have the right, and all the believers in God, in any religion, they have the right to come and to pray freely.
Yes.
And when they invite him to pray the noon prayer in this church, he refused. And he went outside and he prayed in the street. And there you will find, if you go there, you will find Al-Rahma Mosque. They built a mosque because of this practice of Umar ibn al-Khattab. He went there and he refused to go to the church to pray. That's why I personally, I am proud that I have long history with this question with our church. And now we have our people in that church, and it's a huge citizen, and really it's in our hands, and we shall continue helping our church in Jerusalem, helping our Al-Aqsa Mosque also.
Yes, you're right, Your Excellency, Ambassador Bayoumi, because any invasion to Egypt through history comes from the east. You're right that this is national security. Actually, Egypt is have also exerted lots of efforts, also concerning Egypt was the senior mediator in the peace talks in Sharm el-Sheikh, and the ceasefire, hopefully it's not breached by the Israeli side. So give us an idea about the role of Egypt through the past 2 years.
We are satisfied that our diplomacy is in its highest power nowadays, thanks to our president, thanks to our Minister of Foreign Affairs, that I realize that from 1 hour to another, they always in contact with our friends, with our partners all over the world, from Japan in the Far East up till France in the Far West, up till Brazil in Latin America. Our president talks to everybody. Even when we condemned the Iranian attack against the Gulf states because of the actual war, still our president received phone calls from the president of Iran. So we are in the middle of everywhere. We can be a good arbitrator, a good effort in order to bring peace again. And we had this very famous peace conference in 2025 when we invited 30, 40 head of states to be there, with the presidency of our President Sisi and President Trump also. That was a story of success. But we should continue. We should hammer on this direction until we reach a peace at the end of the day.
Yes. Is there any talk about a second, implementing the second phase or going with the second phase of the ceasefire in concerning Gaza Strip?
I think we shall continue doing this. And I think Israel cannot continue in a war for more than 10 days. Because it is similarly, it is a small country. They cannot make their army fight for more than 10 days, or fight on 2 fronts. And they are fighting in Syria, in Lebanon, in Gaza, so they cannot continue like that. So we depend that one day they will be tired, and they will stop and starting to see how we can make peace, a real peace there. With the idea that with this Prime Minister, I'm not optimistic at all.
Yes. Recently also there was a law that was issued by the Knesset and the Israeli government concerning the death penalty for Palestinian prisoners, which is also a very dangerous step.
Yes, but it is also each side can do the same. to the prisoners of the other side. And really, we are encouraging Israelis, and we have our contacts with Israel. It's not a secret. Although we do not have ambassador in Tel Aviv, neither Israel have ambassador in Cairo. But we have our ways of contacts, and we are trying to prove to the Israelis that peace is a better choice for them than war, and they can get through peace much better life instead of continuing this silly war. And I am quite sure, according to my experience, that the majority of Israelis are with this idea. They can get better solution, better life, better reaction through the peace process rather than killing people or attacking and getting into war against the Arab countries and Palestinians.
Yes. Your Excellency, Ambassador Bayoumi, through the latest situation, the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, despite this, Israel is taking the chance and is continuing its endless aggression on the Palestinians. Every now and then and every day we hear victims and Palestinians killed and Palestinians wounded. How did you follow this?
Yes, this is a very delicate position. And a few days ago we were in a meeting with our Foreign Minister, Dr. Badr Abdul Atif. And I remind him that since less than 10 months ago, he refused the American proposal to establish an Arab pact against Iran. And he declared that Iran is a friendly country, Islamic friendly country. This is our position 10 months ago. Now we were forced to condemn the Iranian attacking some Arab countries. Even we have some Egyptian victims in Kuwait. So it is a very delicate situation. But I hope that one day we can bring Iran back to the fold of the Islamic countries and to the fold of supporting the Arab cause and the Palestinian cause. But it is very delicate. We are in a very delicate situation. Yes.
Yes, Your Excellency Ambassador Bayoumi, also the act that the Israeli forces and the Israeli settlers actually in the West Bank, also if you could shed light more on this, the West Bank.
They are trying to get more land than they could have. And according to the United Nations resolution, which established Israel in the 40s, it gave the Palestinians 51% of the land and the Israelis 49%. Now the Palestinians do not have even 20% of the land. And the treaty between Yasser Arafat and Rabin a few years ago in 93, there was this treaty, Oslo Treaty, which recognized a Palestinian state on the border of 1967. The Prime Minister of Israel, the actual Prime Minister, does not recognize this treaty, which his predecessor signed it. So how can you see this? Anyway, and it's not me, it is The Economist, the magazine, said that Israel is taking new land from the Western Bank, and they are building ghost houses. They building the houses without having real citizens to occupy it, because as we say, that 500,000 Israelis left the country. So from where they will get citizens to be placed in these new cities?
Yes.
Ghost houses. This is what they have.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Your Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. We really have the honor to have the phone with you. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you. Welcome back. The 176th aid convoy of Egyptian Red Crescent's initiative Zad El-Azza entered into the Gaza Strip on Tuesday. The convoy included thousands of food parcels and thousands of tons of relief aid medicines, aid supplies, and fuels needed to operate hospitals and critical places in the Strip.